for education, health, women empowerment, and care for environment. Because we are enabling goodness beyond business.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan. Selamat sore dan semangat pagi. Bagaimana kabar Bapak, Ibu, dan rekan-rekan sekalian? Saya harap semua dalam keadaan sehat selalu ya. Perkenalkan, saya Priti yang akan membantu acara UI Career, Internship, Scholarship, dan Entrepreneurship atau UI CISE Virtual Expo September 2024. Elevate your career beyond limits. CISE adalah kegiatan ekspo tahunan yang diselenggarakan oleh Pusat Pengembangan Karir Lulusan Universitas Indonesia atau CISE UI di bawah Direktorat Pengembangan Karir Lulusan dan Hubungan Alumni Universitas Indonesia atau DPKHA UI. Bekerja sama juga dengan Ikatan Alumni Universitas Indonesia CIL-UI serta Career Lab sebagai platform teknologi informasi lowongan kerja. UI CISE Virtual Expo September 2024 berlangsung dari tanggal 3 September hingga 31 Oktober 2024 dan diikuti oleh berbagai perusahaan ternama. Selain itu, pada tanggal 27 hingga 28 September akan diadakan secara offline di Balariung UI. Kegiatannya ada apa saja? Di antaranya Company Talk, Scholarship Talk, dan Entrepreneurship Talk. Hal ini bertujuan agar rekan-rekan dapat lebih mengenal perusahaan lebih jauh dan mempersiapkan diri. Jadi, ayo segera daftar di uicise.careerlab.co. Selain itu, UI CISE Virtual Expo September 2024 juga berkolaborasi dengan Career Lab. Career Lab merupakan platform end-to-end career solution yang memberikan dukungan kepada mahasiswa, fresh graduates, dan profesional muda untuk persiapan karir serta lowongan kerja yang dikurasi untuk entry level. Career Lab juga telah mendukung puluhan kampus di Indonesia dengan career management platform untuk pusat karir dan mahasiswa. Info selengkapnya mengenai Career Lab, silahkan rekan-rekan untuk mengakses careerlab.co ya. Kemudian, kami ingin berterima kasih kepada sponsor UI CISE Virtual Expo September 2024, yaitu Enesis Group dan Paragon Corp. Paragon Corp merupakan perusahaan lokal kosmetik sebesar se-Indonesia yang menaungi brand-brand ternama seperti Wardah, Makeover, Emina, Kaf, Putri, Labore, Biodep, Taffy, Insta Perfect, Kristalur, OMG, Wonderly, Beyondly, dan Earth Love Life, juga dengan official media partner kami diantaranya Metro TV, Media Indonesia, Medcom.id, Holopis.com, Infowebminar Indonesia, Media Event Group, Hops.id, Lalana, Era FM UNJ, iRadio Jakarta, Jeus Community, Youth Ranger DKI Jakarta, GNFI, Himarts UI, Seputar Kuliah, Loker.Bogor, lewat lensa event banget. Sebelum kita melanjutkan ke sesi utama, tidak lupa saya informasikan kepada rekan-rekan yang hadir sore hari ini untuk mengonfirmasi kehadirannya melalui QR Code yang ditampilkan pada slide berikut atau mengklik tautan yang dikirim oleh tim panitia pada kolom chat. Selain itu, di akhir acara akan dibagikan link feedback form yang harus teman-teman isi nih sebagai syarat mendapatkan sertifikat. Serta jangan lupa juga untuk mendaftar serta mengikuti event-event UI CISE lainnya melalui uicise.career.co/event. Baik, karena sudah cukup banyak nih peserta yang hadir sore hari ini, sesi kali ini kita akan berkenalan dengan Zijin Mining bersama dengan Robert Gaiman sebagai HR Specialist di Zijin Mining dalam sesi berjudul Zijin Mining Graduate Requirement. Zijin Mining merupakan perusahaan pertambangan multinasional yang bergerak di bidang eksplorasi, ekstraksi, dan pemrosesan logam, termasuk tembaga, emas, seng, litium, perak, dan molybdenum. Zijin Mining berkontribusi pada kemakmuran global dan pembangunan berkelanjutan melalui produksi mineral berkualitas tinggi. Mereka menawarkan posisi di lokasi-lokasi unik di seluruh dunia, sangat cocok bagi rekan-rekan yang memiliki jiwa petualang. Zijin Mining juga berada di peringkat ke-267 dalam daftar Forbes Global 2000 tahun 2024 dan peringkat pertama di antara perusahaan-perusahaan emas global. All right, I will be speaking in English for this part of the event. It seems that everyone here is excited to meet our special guest for today's main event, which is a company talk titled Zijin Mining Graduate Requirement. We will have the opportunity to hear from Robert Jaiman, HR specialist from Zijin Mining. Without further ado, let's greet our speaker, shall we? Hello, Robert. How are you?
Hello there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much for your nice introduction. It's
Okay.
a pleasure to be here today.
It's our pleasure too. Are you ready for doing your presentation?
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Okay, all right. Then without further ado, you can start your presentation. The floor is yours, Robert.
Okay, fantastic. So I hope everyone can see our presentation here.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, fantastic. Then I'll get started. So yes, hello everyone. I'm very excited to be here today. I'm looking forward to introducing our company to you and introducing some of the opportunities that our company will provide. Just to say again, my name is Rob. I'm from the HR department of Zijin Mining. And I just think if you take a look at our title page here, you can take a look at some of our employees. You can see that although Zijin Mining is a Chinese company, it's also a very international company with a very diverse workforce. Okay, we have employees from all over the world working across many different locations. So the employees that you can see in the pictures here, they're working, some of them are working in Asia, some of them in Africa, some in Europe, some in South America. So that might give you an idea of the diverse opportunities that we can provide to our employees. And I think the other key thing to mention on our title page here is our creed, our mission, which is mining for a better society. So why is this our mission? Well, we believe that through responsible mining, that we really can help to create a better world. That might be on the local level. So thinking about the communities around our mines, thinking about the benefits that we can provide to them, whether that's investment or charity or whatever it is, and also the local environment, making sure that we take care of the local environment. Or it might be on the global level. So thinking more broadly, we as a company, we want to provide green minerals, so minerals, low carbon minerals, to help accelerate the transition to clean energy and hopefully to a better world with more human flourishing. So moving on, here we have a quote which I think sums up our company's attitude towards environmental protection, which is lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets. So what does this mean? Well, this is really talking about the responsibility, the duty that our company feels towards protecting the environment. We have made several environmental commitments, so goals that we want to achieve within the near future. And if you look at the picture in the background here, this is from our one of our gold and copper mines in China. And I think it's a really good example of some of the achievements we've made in this area, because I've been there myself, actually, to this mine, and it's very green. The environment there is flourishing, and it's very clean, and perhaps it's not what you would expect, what some people would expect from a mining site. So I hope that maybe in the future that some of you will have the opportunity to visit as well. Now, before I introduce our company, I just want to mention briefly talk a little bit about the importance of the mining industry in general, because of course, the mining industry is a key foundation of industrial society, right? Almost everything we produce, the materials need to come from somewhere, and most of them come from mining. And the story of economic progress or technological progress is closely tied to mining, closely linked to mining. For example, here we look at some different pillars of the economy, so energy, raw materials, and agriculture. So thinking about energy, historically, we've always mined coal has been a very important source of energy. Especially in the last 200 years, it helped us to have the Industrial Revolution, to create the modern world. And nowadays, we're moving away from coal, but the more modern, cleaner sources of energy, for example, solar power, wind power, these also rely on the raw materials that we produce in mining. For example, copper, lithium, etc. And thinking about industry more widely. So most of the raw materials that go into industry also have to come from mines, whether that's copper and aluminium to produce electrical goods like the computers that we're using now, or it could be gold for medical uses. Okay, it could be steel or iron for construction. To help build the buildings that we're sitting in now. And then also in terms of agricultural inputs, perhaps an area where you might not expect it to be so important, but one of the major advancements in modern agriculture has been using fertilizers. And of course, to produce these fertilizers, we need things like potassium, which also come from mining things like potash. And then also all the modern agricultural machinery that helps to increase agricultural productivity so much. So no matter which area of the economy of society we're looking at, I think we've clearly established that mining is at the base of it. And I think this is one of the reasons why working in the mining industry can be so appealing, because people often talk about wanting to have a job that makes a difference, to contribute something to the world, to society. And I think that working in the mining industry, you really do have the opportunity to do something that matters, to produce something of value for the world or for your society. But looking at the personal level, okay, so why should you choose mining? Well, we have a few of the key reasons up here. So firstly, you might want to think about the stability of the industry, right? Because of the nature of the mining industry, once a company is established, once it's got to a certain size, that company is usually very stable. But at the same time, it can enjoy very healthy profits, very healthy growth. If you look at some of the major international mining companies, for example, BHP or Rio Tinto, these companies have been around for over 100 years, and and they've been leaders in the industry for that long. So that tells you something about the stability of this industry. And now Zijin Mining has also joined that top level of mining companies and reached a very high level of stability within the industry. And looking forward to the future, I think the outlook for the mining industry is also very strong, because we were just speaking about the need for more green minerals like copper and lithium. And the demand for these minerals is forecast to increase significantly over the next decade, over the next maybe 20, 30 years. We're going to need a lot more of all of these minerals. Even if you just think about a single product like electric vehicles or electric vehicle batteries, the amount of material that they are going to require is perhaps double what we are producing today. So the demand for these raw materials is only going to increase in the coming years. So I think going forward, the mining industry is looking very strong. But due to the nature of the industry and perhaps the working environment, some people are put off working in mining. But this means that if you go against the tide, if you think differently, if you make a different choice from some of your peers, then you are able to enjoy certain advantages, okay? Because there are perhaps less people going into the mining industry, you also find there's less competition. So this helps to improve your job security. And it also means that in the future, you're going to have more chances for career advancement. You're going to be able to progress up the ladder faster than you would in other industries. So I think there's also very strong, excuse me, I think there's also very strong personal motivations to consider a job in the mining industry. Now, let's get down to it and talk a bit about Zijin Mining, about who we are and what we do. So as I said at the start, Zijin is a very international company. Here we can see all of our operations across China and across the globe. In China, we have mining projects in over 17 different provinces or regions. And worldwide, including China, we have mining projects in 16 countries worldwide. And as I mentioned, this includes in South America, both in Spanish-speaking countries and English-speaking countries, in Australia, in Asia, in Russia, in Serbia, also in several African countries, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, for example. And I think you also get an idea of the extent of how international we are when you look at the number of our employees as well, because we have overall worldwide over 50,000 employees globally, of which over 20,000, around 40 to 50% of which are international employees, are non-Chinese employees. And going forward, we're expecting further international expansion. Right now, our international business already accounts for more than 50% of our total business revenues. So we expect this to really become a focus in the future. So I would expect that there will be even more opportunities to work in even more places across the world in the coming years. Now, Zijin is also a leading company globally in terms of its financial performance, its assets, and its growth. We've enjoyed pretty strong growth over the last few years, especially. You can see here in 2023, we had strong growth in revenue and total assets. We had growth of nearly 30% in the cash flow and 5% growth in our net profits. And we've also moved up the rankings as well in terms of the size of our company globally. So we are in the top 500 in both the Forbes Global 2000 and also the Fortune Global 500. And within those lists, we are among the top metal mining companies. We are already the top metal miner in China, and we are the top gold enterprise in the world. And at the moment, we are currently ranked 5th among international metal mining companies. But as I said, we've enjoyed very rapid growth over the past few years. And there are many signs that that growth is going to continue. So I expect us to continue moving up the rankings, both of all the companies and also metal mining companies. So why do I think Zijin will continue to grow? Why am I confident that we will continue to grow in the coming years? Well, one major reason is we have a very strong asset portfolio. So that means for a mining company, of course, that means we have a lot of resources. Here you can see the tables showing our reserves and how they rank alongside other global mining companies. So we have the sixth largest reserves among gold miners. We have the second largest reserves among copper companies, and we have the fourth largest reserves of zinc in the world. So I think this is clearly a very strong foundation for the company to work from. And additionally, another reason why I feel pretty confident in the future of the company, the growth of the company, has been our achievements in the lithium industry over the past few years. So previously, maybe before 2020, before 2019, we largely focused on gold, copper, zinc, more traditional materials. But due to the massive increase in demand for lithium that we're seeing now with electric vehicles, batteries, etc., we have also moved into the lithium industry, and we've seen amazing growth of our business in lithium over the last few years. So at the moment, we have 4 major projects, which are known as 2 lakes and 2 mines. So we have 2 lithium salt lakes, one in Argentina and one in Tibet. And we also have 2 mines, one in Hunan and one in the DRC in the Congo. And looking at the growth, you can see here, we produced 3,000 tons of lithium in 2023, and we're already in the top 3 lithium producers in China. And this year we have a target of 25,000 tons of lithium, and then by 2025 we hope to produce. I'll have a production capacity of 100,000 tons of lithium. So within 5 years, we hope to be one of the major global producers of lithium. And at the moment, we are on track to achieve this goal. And it's not only lithium where we've seen significant increases in our production. So also in copper and gold. As you can see here, in 2023, we saw a year-on-year increase of 11% for copper and 20% for gold. And we estimate that by 2028, we will see around a 50% increase in both copper and gold production. And then also we predict significant increases in production of zinc, of silver, of molybdenum, molybdenum. And again, if we look at the table here for LCE, so LCE, we're talking about lithium carbonate equivalent. We can see that we expect, hopefully by 2028, to produce 250 to 300 kilotons of LCE, of lithium carbonate equivalent every year. So not only are our reserves looking very strong, but also we are working hard to increase production every year, and we are seeing the benefits of that coming through. Now I've talked a bit about our impressive financial performance or production figures, but of course we need to remember that we have a duty to the environment and also to all the people involved in our mines. That includes workers, it includes the local communities, and all other stakeholders. So I wanted to talk a bit about our initiatives for sustainable development. So here you can see our key sustainable development goal, which is by 2030, we want to establish a green, high-tech, leading global mining company, contributing to international development and human flourishing. And below, we see two major pillars of how we hope to achieve this. So the first one is our green metals strategy. So as I've just mentioned, it involves investing heavily in clean energy technologies, including the production of lithium, but not only lithium. We're also investing in working on more clean energy products, batteries, etc. And we also hope to lower our carbon emissions. So we have the goal to achieve a carbon peak by 2029 and carbon neutrality by 2050 or earlier if possible. And hopefully, because this is an area where maybe many people have reservations about the mining industry, they worry about the environmental impact. And it's true that in the past, mining has caused environmental damage in lots of places. So this is one reason we really hope to improve the reputation of the mining industry in this area. We hope that we can become a good model as well for other companies to follow in terms of achieving environmentally friendly mining, responsible mining. And the other pillar, apart from the environment, is of course how we treat people. So in terms of human rights, we are committed to upholding several key pronouncements on human rights. You can see some of the ones there, including the guiding principles on business and human rights. So making sure that we ensure the rights of local people and also our employees, our workers, making sure that we ensure their safety and that they have a healthy working environment. Because why do we worry so much about that? Well, as any qualified HR professional will tell you, a company depends on its employees. And if you treat your employees well, we believe that they will pay you back in their performance. So we are committed to producing a work environment and a workforce that reflects our basic values. So in terms of our workforce, we welcome people from all different backgrounds. So that might be from different countries, different cultures, people of different nationalities, but also people with different skill sets. So people who study different majors, have different experience in their life. Okay, we believe that this sort of diversity, especially when you're operating an international business, is going to be a major strength for any company. And in terms of providing development opportunities and training opportunities for our employees, we have regular training for covering all different areas. So it could be technical training, it could be language training, it could be learning more about the mining industry in general. So we have many different training courses that are arranged every month. And we have different development paths as well, depending on your background, depending on your position. So if you're working in a technical area, you have one maybe development path. If you're working in management or administrative area, then you'll have a different development path. So we try to adjust our system depending on people's different needs and their abilities. And then also, if you spend multiple years at the company, you might also have the opportunity for the company to sponsor you with to get further education, to get further qualifications as well. Here we can see some key figures, some key statistics that reflect our increased investment in ESG systems. So ESG, of course, environmental, social, and governance systems. So improving, making our company more responsible. So as you can see here, in just the last 3 or 4 years, our investments in safety have gone up more than 3 times, increased to around $4 billion a year. And this has helped us to achieve lower accident rates, lower injury rates at our mining projects. And you can also see there we have a high percentage of locally employed people as well amongst our staff. And then also in terms of our societal contribution, we've also massively increased investment there as well. So both in terms of our direct economic contribution, we can see here, as well as the total social contribution. And lastly, in terms of the environment, you can see that we managed to reduce average greenhouse gas emissions per ton produced. And also, we have managed to reduce water waste through improving our water recycling rate. So that's up to nearly 95% now, as you can see. And then we have also been recognized both at the national level and the provincial level for our environmental achievements. So we can see in here, we have 12 national and 2 provincial level green mines. We have 7 national and 6 provincial level green factories. And we also have 1 officially nationally recognized mine park. So that's just a few of the achievements that we've made in this ESG area. Now I'd like to talk about a few more advantages that Zijin Mining has that help to strengthen our core competitiveness. So help to make us a more competitive company on the global stage. And we can break it down into 4 primary areas, some of which we've discussed already. So firstly, we have our resource base. So as we looked at earlier, we are one of the leaders globally for metal mineral reserves. So gold, copper, lithium, zinc, etc. We have access to huge amounts of these metal mineral reserves. And then secondly, our next advantage is our operations, our capabilities, okay? So through using new technologies and specific project management methods, we've achieved very low cost, but also high return mining operations. Our structure is also quite unique for a Chinese company. We have some characteristics, some aspects of a SOE, which is a state-owned enterprise, which provides a solid foundation, a stable foundation for us. But we're actually a publicly traded company. So we also have this greater flexibility or greater dynamism than an SOE would. And then lastly, the last aspect of our competitiveness is our international expansion, which is backed by our more than 30 years experience of developing new mining sites. So these key areas in these key advantages, resources in operations, management, in structure, in the company structure, and also in the experience we're bringing to our international expansion. These are all key areas which perhaps give us an edge over the competition and provide us with a very solid basis for future development. Looking at the specifics in more depth here, we can see we have some of the numbers here showing our low cost advantage. So we are excellent at keeping production costs down. And one way we do this is through making what are called counter-cyclical acquisitions. So buying projects at a low cost and then turning them around into profitable ventures. So you can see here in terms of global copper producers, Zijin Mining, the average cost of our copper production is in the first percentile. So among the costs are among the lowest 25% there. And also in terms of gold, the cost of gold production, we are ranked second in terms of keeping costs down for gold production. And one way that we do this, I mentioned, one way that we manage to keep costs low is through constant innovation and through using the latest technological improvements. This might be in terms of exploration, in terms of extraction, mineral extraction, in terms of mineral processing, in terms of logistics. It could be in a range of areas. We have many patents and awards for our in-company innovation. We have committed very large amounts of money to in-house research and development. And this is really what has helped us to be able to keep costs down and to produce minerals, even from places that have perhaps mineral reserves that weren't originally considered profitable to mine. We're able to go into find these low-grade ores and make them into a profitable product. So you can see here, we've actually, over the last few years, we've turned around 5 large projects. So we've purchased 5 projects where they were making a loss, and then we bought them at a low cost, and then we implemented our technological innovations, and this helped us to turn them around and make them profitable in a very short time frame. Now, I think we can have a look at some of our previous, what we call the gold elites. So gold elites here, it just means our graduates, our graduate hires. So people students who come out of university and immediately start working for Zijin, they become our gold elites. So let's have a look at some outstanding examples of these gold elites. So the first one we have here is Lisa from Russia. So she joined Zijin in early 2023 after graduating from the University of Finance and Economics in China. And she worked initially as an HR specialist in China before being promoted within 1 year to move to the international office in Belgrade, where she is working currently. Then we also have Yusuf here, who he joined Zijin from CSU, which is Central Southern University in China. And he came from a background studying aeronautics and astronautics. And originally he was working in this mechanical equipment division of one of our copper smelters before moving to Aurora Gold Mine, which is one of our overseas projects. And then he has since been promoted to deputy supervisor of that project. So he's moved around from China to overseas, but he's also enjoyed career advancement in that time as well, just within 1 year. Here we have one of our Chinese graduate recruits, Hongyan Chen. So she started working in the Democratic Republic of Congo, originally as a translator, before very quickly moving over to the sales team, and then again enjoying rapid career progression. So moving from a more junior position already to Deputy Chief of Sales, and then to Assistant Director of the marketing department in the Congo. So you can see there that not only has she moved upwards, but she's also gone from translation to working in business and sales. So there's also opportunities to try new things, to work in different areas that you perhaps haven't done before. And lastly here we have Yuan Fa. So he was originally working as a mining engineer in a lead zinc mine in China before being transferred to a major gold project in Colombia. And since then he's been promoted several times and is now serving as an executive assistant to the chairman in our group board office. So again, in the space of 4 years, he's moved from a very junior level to already being at a more mid-management or senior management level. Now, finally, I want to give you some key info about what you can expect and what the company expects from you when you're applying for our graduate recruitment program for our Golden Elites program. So what do we want from a new graduate? Well, here we can see some of the key things that we hope to find in new graduates. So skilled, we hope that you have the perhaps the technical background that we're looking for. Multilingual, so having language skills, especially English and Chinese, will be a major benefit, a major plus. Grounded. So what does this mean? So looking for somebody who has maybe a little bit tough, has a certain toughness. So they are able to work, at a mining location. It's not for everybody. Perhaps, if you're perhaps only used to being in a city, it can be quite a change. So we're looking for people who are able to cope with this sort of working environment. We're looking for people who are ambitious, hardworking, who have the drive to push on, even when faced with difficult challenges, and that are willing to also maybe move around to different places to work at different locations. And lastly, we're looking for people who are innovative, who can identify and solve some of the challenges that they might face. And in addition to the basic salary that we provide, we also have quite a generous benefits package, welfare system. So this includes things like social security and housing funds. Well, that also includes health insurance and an annual physical checkup. And then also wherever you are, depending on your location, you'll enjoy the statutory national holidays as well as paid personal annual leave. You also be reimbursed so for example, if you're from Indonesia and you're working in a project in South America or Africa, then when you have vacation time, when you have holiday time, the company is going to pay your travel expenses and perhaps as well your hotel expenses for you to go back home and visit your family. So you're entitled to do that maybe 2 2 times to 4 times a year, depending on your exact location and your exact situation, and the company will cover those expenses. If you're at one of our mining sites, then all the accommodation and all the food is also provided by the company, so you don't need to spend any money on rent or buying food. It's all provided for you, so you're also able to save money there. And also the company also will provide, especially at mining sites, the company will make an effort to provide leisure facilities. So that could mean gyms or libraries, or also arranging group activities to make sure that people have opportunities to socialize on mining sites as well. But it's important to remember that, as I said, we operate in many different countries, in many different locations. So each location has different benefits, different welfare that it provides. So the specific benefits will depend on your final working location. Here you can see some of the different career paths, development paths that we offer to different employees. So as I mentioned before, depending on your area of expertise, depending on your skills, depending on your department position you work in, we have bespoke career programs for people working in different areas. And also we're specifically focused on helping younger people in their development. So especially people under 30, we have a number of different training programs for them. And especially as well for people with a technical background. So people working initially, if you join Zijin, then you might have a position as a technician or a mechanic, and the company would provide all the extra training that you need to get to to have the skills necessary that you are able to progress to more senior engineering roles on the mining sites. So that's pretty much all I have to share with you for the presentation. I just wanted to share here how you can apply to join Zijin. So everybody needs to complete an online application via our recruitment website. The link is up here, and also the link is also on the Career Lab UICS website. The link is provided there, so you can go on there, or you can scan the QR code here, and you should be able to submit your application. So again, I must stress that you have to use the Zijin recruitment website if you want to make an application. In order for us to process your CV, we need to receive it via our own website. And once you've made this application, then we will screen the CVs. We'll go through this process of trying to find the most suitable candidates, and then you may have a series of interviews, usually just 1 or 2 interviews, and this year that might include an AI evaluation as well. So I thank everybody for listening. Here we also have, if you use these Chinese social media, I'll just say at the end here, if you use any of these Chinese social media accounts, for example, Red or Xiaohongshu or QQ, you can also scan the QR codes here to join these chat groups, the group chats here, if you have any more questions that you think of. And yes, again, thank you everybody for listening, and I hope that I've shared some useful information and made you want to submit your application. So I'm open to any questions that anybody might have.
Okay, thank you so much, Robert, for your informative presentation. Hopefully, it will help the participant today learn more about Zijin mining. All right, we will now begin the Q&A session. If you have any question, please fill in them in the Q&A box and not in the chat column. While we wait for participants to submit their question, let me share some interesting details about our upcoming event. Bagi teman-teman yang memiliki pertanyaan, dipersilakan untuk bertanya melalui Q&A box ya. Jangan sampai ke kolom chat. Sambil menunggu teman-teman yang ingin bertanya, saya juga ingin membagikan informasi penting nih. Bagi teman-teman yang ingin bergabung di Zijin Mining, bisa langsung mengunjungi virtual booth-nya sekarang juga di link yang tertera pada layar. Selain itu, saya juga mau mengajak rekan-rekan untuk daftar upcoming event UI CISE lainnya yang akan diadakan pada esok hari, Selasa 24 September 2024. Jadi jangan lupa untuk cek Instagram Karir Expo UI dan bisa didaftar juga di uicise.karirlab.co/event. Alright, I think that enough time for our participant to fill in the Q&A box. Allow me to read the question for you, Robert, and you can answer them right away. Okay, so the first question comes from Helmi. Afternoon, sir. I have interest with mining, especially GIS, Geography Informative System, for mining activity because it is my background. I'd like to ask what GIS knowledge and skills are commonly applied in mining activities at Zijin Mining.
Okay, thank you for your question. So you said GIS is geoinformatic systems, yes?
Geography Information System.
Geography information systems. In terms of this, I can't give a very specific answer because as I'm working in the HR, I'm not so clear on all the technical aspects of this area. But later on in our recruitment process, so after the first interview, then we also usually do an interview with the project managers or the people on the technical side of operations. So there will be a chance also later on in the recruitment process to understand more about the specifics of what we expect from each area.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question comes from Rizky Eko. Hello, Robert. I want to ask if there's a training for new employee, and also what are the prospects for professional growth and promotion within the company for fresh graduates?
Okay. So in terms of training, yes, we have training for new employees. So this is usually this is split into two parts. So we have training at our company headquarters. So this is a group training. So usually we have all the new graduate recruits will join this training together, and this is usually held in the summer, so around August, September sort of time, and this is a general training to cover all aspects of working at Zijin and working in the mining industry. So after those 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, then you are usually dispatched to one of our mining projects. So you'll be working on the front line of the mining industry, and at that time it's also a practical training period. So you'll be basically learning on the job, and during this time you should also have somebody who is responsible for your development. So this is kind of also like a initial training period, probationary period, during which time you also will have some personalized training.
Thank you so much. But before we continue to the next session, to the next question, I want to inform the participants. Bagi teman-teman yang memiliki pertanyaan, mohon untuk segera bertanya ya teman-teman, karena sebentar lagi kami akan menutup kesempatan untuk bertanya. Okay, so the next questions come from Lia. What is the role and contribution of women working in the field at Zijin Mining? What challenges do they face, and how does the company support their career development?
Okay, so in terms of the mining industry in general, I'm sorry to say that not just Zijin Mining, but also any major mining company, women are unfortunately in the minority. So I think currently the percent of women in Zijin stands around 15 to 20%, right? I think somewhere around this area. But we have been working to increase that number in recent years. So I just gave the example of one particular woman in Zijin who was working actually in the Democratic Republic of Congo at one of our major copper projects there. And I discussed a little bit about how she had enjoyed quite rapid career development, in the space of about 3 or 4 years, moving from, being a French interpreter, a French translator, to working in marketing and sales and more business-oriented departments. So I think there's definitely opportunities available for women working in Zijin. There are a number of women working in management roles as well, both within China and abroad. Even including at the headquarters here, we have a number of women as well working in senior management roles.
Okay, thank you so much, Robert. Next question comes from anonymous attendee. How would you describe the company culture at Zijin Mining? How does it impact recruitment and employee retention?
Yeah, that's a good question. So in terms of the company culture, we try to encourage our employees to embody, I guess, what you could call the Zijin spirit. So I mentioned some of the qualities that we hope for in an employee, in a new graduate. So I mentioned, we were looking for people who are ambitious, hardworking, also people who have an international mindset, right? So we're also looking for a certain degree of open-mindedness, and also people who can look at challenges from different angles. And in terms of how that affects the company culture, right? Because the mining industry, you sort of have to be ready for anything. The situation, conditions are always changing very, very rapidly. So we try to encourage this company culture of being very responsive to change, being able to update your plans, based on the latest information or the latest events. And in terms of how that impacts our recruitment and employee retention, sometimes it can make it difficult in terms of employee retention. I think that's an issue with the mining industry in general, because like I say, we always stress to people when they apply for positions at our company that the mining industry is not always an easy place to work in. Sometimes the environment can feel very tough, but I think ultimately that brings certain other advantages, certain other rewards, some of which I talked about in my presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. So next question comes from Akmal Ramandi. Thank you, Mr. Robert, for the insightful presentation. Has Zijin implemented digitalization, artificial intelligence, and machine learning or automation technology for improved safety?
Yes, definitely. And this is something that we're working to improve all the time. So actually, one of the areas, one of the majors that we really are looking to recruit more people from would be this sort of area: mechanical engineering, robotics, electrical engineering, and especially automation, AI. These areas. So if that's your background, please do submit your application, because these are all areas where we are working on. But we've already made some progress in those areas, especially automation technology at mines. There's a lot of automated vehicles and automated machinery used at mine sites nowadays. But we hope that you will join us and help us to further improve in that area.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question come from Alfian Shahfirdani. Thank you for the information on Zijin, Mr. Robert. For the graduate program, is Chinese proficiency mandatory? Could a candidate with no Chinese language proficiency but good professional English apply?
Yes, of course, yeah. I mean, actually, in terms of our international projects, English proficiency is probably going to be as useful, if not more useful, than Chinese proficiency, because just English is such a international language. So it's used. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing, if you don't have Chinese proficiency, then you probably won't be working in China. But as I said, we have projects in Asia, Africa, South America, Europe, and English is standard as a working language in all of those places. So as long as you have either one of Chinese or English, that is perfectly sufficient to apply and to work at Zijin.
Thank you so much. So next question come from anonymous attendee. I am an environmental engineering graduate. What position I can apply and make a career at Zijin? And do you know any certification that can enhance my skills?
In terms of specific certification, I'm not too sure. I mean, usually, if you have a bachelor's or a master's degree, that's a good start, right? But for positions you can apply for, I mean, we have a lot of positions working in environmental protection. As I was talking about in the presentation, we're investing more and more money every year in environmental engineering. So this could be, it depends exactly where your specialization lies, but you can initially you can submit your application perhaps just under environmental protection or environmental engineering, and then based on your specific area of expertise and what we talk about in the interview, then we can try to find the best placement for you. Because I mean, in terms of environmental protection, there's lots of different areas to look at. It could be looking at the water or soil or restoration, reclamation projects. So it will depend on your own strength exactly where you want to go.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, so it will be the last question.
Okay.
Hi, Robert. Hi, Rob. I would like to ask you, I am a Chinese studies. Is there any opportunity for me to apply at Zijin Mining Company?
For a Chinese studies graduate, there may be opportunities in the administrative positions. So actually, I myself was once a Chinese studies graduate, and I'm now working at Zijin. So I'm sure there are opportunities for people with that background. So I would just advise you to just submit your resume and see.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your answer and presentation, Robert. I'm sure everyone here gained a lot of information and inspiration from today's session. Unfortunately, due to limited time, that question will be the last one for today's discussion. Thank you for your questions, and we apologize for any unanswered question from from the participants. Terima kasih kepada rekan-rekan yang antusias dalam bertanya. Namun sayang sekali karena waktu yang terbatas, pertanyaan tadi sekaligus menutup sesi diskusi pada sore hari ini. Mohon maaf untuk pertanyaan-pertanyaan dari rekan-rekan sekalian yang belum terjawab. Thank you, Robert, for your time and presentation in today's session. Before we end, would you like to give closing statement to the participants?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you, firstly, to University of Indonesia and Career Lab for arranging the event today. And I hope to, well, not me, I won't be there, but my colleagues will be at the career fair that's coming up this week. So hopefully, if you have any more questions, you can go and see them there. And yeah, I thank you all for listening to me today. I'm sorry, I think I went on a bit long, but thank you very much to everybody, and I wish you good luck in your application.
All right, thank you so much, Robert, for the closing statement. If you like to leave the Zoom meeting now, please feel free to do so.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon. Namun untuk rekan-rekan jangan beranjak dulu karena saya ingin kembali mengingatkan kepada rekan-rekan untuk mengonfirmasi kehadirannya melalui QR Code yang ada di layar sebagai syarat untuk mendapatkan sertifikat. Dan jangan lupa untuk mendaftar dan mengikuti event-event UICC lainnya melalui uicc.catlab.co/event. Karena berkesempatan untuk mendaftar ke berbagai perusahaan, mengenal lebih dalam berbagai perusahaan, dan tentunya mendapatkan beragam webinar gratis. Sambil menunggu rekan-rekan mengisi, saya ingin kembali mengingatkan untuk rekan-rekan mendaftar dan mengikuti event-event UICC lainnya melalui uicc.catlab.co/event. Karena rekan-rekan berkesempatan untuk mendaftar ke berbagai jenis perusahaan, mengenal lebih dalam berbagai perusahaan, dan tentunya mendapatkan beragam webinar gratis. Serta pantau terus info-info seputar karir, workshop karir, dan acara menarik lainnya dengan memfollow LinkedIn dan Instagram UICC Expo dan Career Lab. Kemudian kami juga ingin berterima kasih kepada sponsor UICC Virtual Expo September 2024, Enesis Group, dan Paragon Corp. Kami juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada official media partner kami, Metro TV, Media Indonesia, Medcom.id, Holopis.com, Info Webinar Indonesia, Media Event Group, Hops.id, Lalana, Era FMUNJ, Radio Jakarta, Jules Community, Youth Ranger DKI Jakarta, GNFI, Himas UI, seputar kuliah, Loker.Bogor, lewat lensa, event banget. Saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada rekan-rekan yang sudah mengikuti webinar sore hari ini hingga akhir. Semoga ilmunya bermanfaat dan dapat diaplikasikan oleh teman-teman. Saya Priti, selaku moderator dari UICC Expo September 2024, pamit undur diri. Elevate your career, beyond limits. Mohon maaf atas segala kekurangannya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih dan selamat sore.
Paragon Corp, the largest and market leader of cosmetics industry in Indonesia with 13 proud brands. Together with more than 10,000 Paragonians, we have a mission to serve benevolently and grow sustainably with our Creator's blessings. By the collaboration of Paragonian with local and global experts, we built the largest cosmetics research and innovation center in Southeast Asia. Our factory, we spread the goodness of our products to 43 distribution centers all over Indonesia and Malaysia. It's our responsibility to create equal access for education, health, women empowerment, and care for environment. Because we are enabling goodness beyond business.